Good, good, good morning. It's a good motherfucking morning. You see, man, it's drizzling out here, man. California weather, man. They talk about California sunny, they lie. I came at the wrong time. Cause one day it's hot, the next day it's raining, the next day it's drizzling, all kinds of shit. But it doesn't stop. Cause we enjoy every moment of it. It's still better than weather-wise. You feel me? Around this time of year, yeah, I can still do this. You feel me? Say I don't really wanna fight no more. It's time to let it go. Feel me? I don't really wanna fight no more. I can't fight no more. What you think? We gotta keep doing this thing. Gotta bring it to you. Right out the stove. Grandma me time. Fresh out the oven. Straight bakery. It's fresh and hot in this bitch. Although it seems so rainy. Freestyle on top of the head. Just a little bit of take that. Bad boys, baby. Know what I mean? On my way to work this time. I see, man, it's a little drizzle. I don't let that shit stop me. Feel me? My hoodie. You see it, right? Like you see the lining. This part is, excuse me. See the lining a little bit. This is what it looks like. What's happening, man? New York. It's usually New York niggas be working like. How New York niggas walk. You can't even call that Brooklyn walk sometime like that. I don't know what to call it. You know what I mean? Niggas be like a straight extra muscle in your step walk. I ain't got no extra muscle, feel me? I'm just a gentle giant. Feel me? Just a gentle giant, as humble as possible. Feel me? Just don't take my counters for granted, that's all. There's a difference. There's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. Feel me? Shout out to DMX. There is a difference between the two, feel me? There's a difference between arrogance and stupidity. It's a big difference. Look, if we take a look at the two, people are taking away greatness thinking that they're stopping. Nah, you can't already take away. If you take away somebody like DMX, RIP to DMX, he just passed away. Like, you can't take away the work that he has already put in. The best version of himself, he already gave it already. You feel me? There was another version that's gonna come up. Who knows whether it was gonna be best or not? But the stuff that he has put out is forever lasting. You feel me? It's gonna last forever. It's gonna last forever. You feel me? I mean, we gonna sing his song, we gonna be quoting him and everything else. So that's something that you can't take away. Just can't take away that part of X. Like, you just can't. You feel me? I know y'all niggas is envious of people that you cannot be in 1,000 years. So you think by destroying that person, that makes you accomplish something. But the truth of the matter, most of the time, it's too late. The things that you're doing, you only doing what was already written that had to be done already. You feel me? So you're only doing something like what you're doing is equivalent to basically me pouring out a pot. And it's the last drop of the water being poured out. And you came and just destroyed the pot so I wouldn't have to pour out no more water. It's like, boy, I already poured out the best version of it already. You already got what we needed to get out of it already. You feel me? So you doing the last act was like, it was just not, it wasn't even necessarily needed. You feel me? But it's all good though. On our way to work, in the rain. I'm gonna go to work wet, no homo. Wet. And that's what we doing right now. Still gotta watch myself. It's amazing that it started raining because This morning I was just like, I was losing track of time. I lost a lot of track of time. I'm like, damn. It was this time, the next thing I know, I lost 10 minutes track of time, then another 20 minutes here, then I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Then ironically, where I took the bus at, it was not raining, but when I got to this location, it was already raining. And I just took it as, this is a blessing, because it keeps me a little bit awake while I'm walking through the sidewalk. You feel me? There's a difference between the streets and the sidewalk itself. So it's all about perception sometimes. So how I saw it was like, I know people was looking at me walking on the sidewalk while they was driving on the street and making it seem like they was better than, but I seen it as I'm grateful because this rain itself, or this drizzling of water, is keeping me awake while I'm walking through it. You feel me? So I needed it. Feel me? I needed it. Feel me? So you just gotta see the difference between the things that has happened to you, how you conceptualize it, because it all comes down to you, man. It always comes down to you. It really does. It comes down to the individual and how you take in certain things that happen to you. That's all. You feel me? You know, I go through the worst sometimes. I can complain all day, but sometimes I be like, you know what? It's just the way I look at it. And people be like, well, I'm tired of him complaining and this, that, and third. And I'm like, let it pass. They be like, I'm tired of him complaining. I don't want to turn on the TV to hear him complain, or the radio to hear him complaining. I'm like, well, I'm tired of going through the things that I go through. Feel me? I'm tired of, yeah, let's get it. I was like, yeah, I'm tired of it too, my nigga. I'm tired of being persecuted. I'm tired of being lied upon. I'm tired of people taking advantage of me. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of people stealing from me. I'm tired of all of it too. So if you're tired of me complaining about the things that I'm going through, then you got a whole nother thing coming to you, because the selfishness of it all. Let me pass by. The antagonizing. I'm tired of people antagonizing me. I'm tired of people belittling me. Feel me? I'm tired of people looking down upon me. I'm tired of people seeing what I'm going through, that I have normalized it so much. I've made it look so easy. They really think it's easy. I'm tired of people thinking what I'm going through is easy. You feel me? That's what I'm tired of. You feel me? And it's funny how they tired of hearing me talk about the pains that I'm going through, but they haven't got tired of the things that I go through. I guess they can't feel that part. The only thing they can feel is the fact that I'm complaining too much. You feel me? Can you understand that? I'll let that sink in for a little bit. Can you just imagine you going through the pain that you're going through, the things that you've endured continuously over and over? These people are religiously hating on you, religiously on their job, religiously trying to destroy you in any form of fashion. They don't care how they do it. They will use grandma, they will use little kids, they will use everybody to do it. They will use a whole community. They will destroy their community just to destroy you. And when you are the individual who's enduring all these things, taking it in consistently, and you want to talk about it, they tell you, well, I'm tired of him complaining. He is always complaining. Oh my God, why is he always talking about the things that he go through? That's nothing. It's just a little something that happened to you. Stop complaining. You better. And I'm like, damn. How about you? How come you don't have the same energy to tell other people to stop doing the things that they're doing? You feel me? Why are you not tired of seeing me go through these things? You feel me? Let it go. Feel me? Why are you not tired of these things? How come you're not tired that you have to hear about and see these things that are not normal? Feel me? But you have got so comfortable. It's been normalized so much that you have got comfortable in seeing these things, but you haven't got comfortable when people are actually standing up for themselves. You have gotten comfortable with somebody being stepped on, but you haven't gotten comfortable, or you haven't seen enough of somebody trying to get back up. No, getting back up, it defines it, it defines some form of thinking in their mind, space in their mind that they've never seen before. They haven't been there too many times. So when they see it happening, they're just in awe and a shock, like, what the like he's actually trying to come back from this. Like it's over. What are you doing? You feel? Yeah. Like this is how they see things. Like this is how they conceive these things. I'm gonna just use the word conceive. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt yourself, Jeffrey. You gonna fuck it up in your mind. This is how they try to conceive these things. You feel me? It's like, yeah, like he's actually trying to come back from just being lied upon, just being mistreated, just being used. You feel me? And he's actually trying to undo these things. Yes, I'm trying to undo these things. You feel me? And why are you trying to hold me back? Feel me? That's the thing that I'm talking about with these individuals. You feel me? This is what we fighting right now. We fighting a mind that wants to see, that is used to seeing people getting stepped on and people being beaten and everything else like that, and just that they want you to see, they want to see the slave in the slave position, and they want to see master in a master position. They don't want a person fighting back. They don't want the oppressed fighting back the oppressor. Feel me? They do not want to see a mouse chasing a cat. What? Whew. I was about to be chasing that too. There's no need for that water. It's already naturally raining. Like, it's a waste of water. Anyway. Feel me? But they do not want to see, they don't want to see that they so used to seeing it one way that when they see the other way, it defines everything that they're used to in life and the history itself. Let me take this shit up, man. Feel me? Feel like they do not want to see these things. You understand what's going on? So every time I complain and they start complaining, like, yeah, I'm tired of him. Like, he's always complaining. It's a turn off to, you think I give a fuck about what bitch pussy dry, or it's a turn off to the next bitch? Bitch, oh, nigga, bitch. Feel me? This is what I'm going through. You feel me? This is what I'm going to be talking about. This is what I know to talk about. This is how I'm going to express it through you. You can't tell me what you're tired of if you never been through it. Then when you go through it, you want people to understand what you're going through, but yet you can't even tell what you're going through because you've been with the one that went against that obvious thing. It's like you fighting against something. It's like you have become something that you're fighting against all this time. How do you expect people to understand you? You feel me? You have a uphill battle like Saul, who was the persecutors of the Christian people, and later on became Paul. Now Saul, who is Paul, is now a Christian himself, and now have to convince people that the thing that he has been hunting and killing all this time is actually the way, and it's a good way to go. You understand? This is what they be doing sometimes. You feel me? They play in a position of Paul, who used to be Saul. You feel me? I'm always in the position of Christ himself, because I've always known that, look, I'm going to express my shit. This is what I'm going through. This is how I'm going to express how I feel and everything else like that, unapologetically, because the enemy's attacking me unapologetically. But now these individuals who are Saul, who have later on became Paul, because through the things that they went through, you feel me? Bitch ass nigga. Through the things that they went through, Saul wouldn't have became Paul if he didn't go through that traumatic, the trauma that he went through. Some of these people will fight against you, teeth and nail, like they be your greatest adversaries. They will fight you to the death until the same thing happened to them. Now they want now they gotta fight you have to fight a greater uphill battle like Paul. You feel me? It's crazy. Maybe God got what do you call it? A job for them. That's why they had to go through that way. You feel me? But I'm just telling niggas what I do. I still gotta watch myself. It's not always cars that pass. These niggas riding bikes and shit. Feel me? People will compete against you and be mad at you. But I just want to put that info out there. Like, you feel me? People telling you like, oh, you complain too much. This, that, and the thing. I see yo. I'm like, yo. If you're not complaining about the things that's going on, then don't complain about me talking about it. Because the best thing they want you to do is to be quiet about the things that you're going on. So it makes them feel good. It gives them like a league pass. They do give them a league pass to basically tap into all channels and do whatever they please to do. You feel me? You have to understand when somebody's telling you to be quiet. Feel me? Because they got an agenda behind that. They're like, fuck, be quiet, man. You putting some other niggas on. Like, we trying to make this shit global. We trying to help you. Nah, I'm like, nah, this is what is happening. And this is how you have to handle it. And this is how you spot these people. And when they're doing these things, that's what I'm telling people about how to handle themselves. You feel me? And even the person that do not want you to hear is a person that's later on going to utilize the message that they don't want you to hear. Because they're going to go through the same thing too. So it's inevitable. Feel me? It's going to happen. Because once you involve yourself in something, you can't separate yourself from it. That's the difference between the two. What's the difference between the yin and the yang? Is the outlining. I'm not talking about the difference in identity. I'm talking about the separation of the two. The difference is basically the intersection between the two that separates it. You feel me? What separates the sidewalk from the streets itself? You feel me? What is that separation about? What identify that separation? How do we get to see the difference between the two so clearly? Let me show y'all. You see this? You see this road? Is it that white line or the pattern on the road that makes it say turn right, road ahead, or the lining that keeps you in shape, that tells you that this is a road or a street, and the sidewalk is a little bit of what? What is the sidewalk? The sidewalk, how do you differentiate which one is a sidewalk and which one is a road? When they're both made of the same material, it's very hard to identify, right? It's the pattern of it, you feel me? It's just the pattern of it, you feel me? It's just the way, it's made out of the same material, but it just got a different pattern. That's all it is, you feel me? Look at the sidewalk. The sidewalk is a little higher than the road. It sits on top of the road. Saying sidewalk don't even sit on top of the road, so it's even much harder to tell. Feel me? So you're gonna go through the same thing I'm going through, and you're gonna be the one. And you're gonna be the one that tells me, no, you are actually, right now you telling me, oh, you complaining too much, you da-da-da. But when you go through the same thing, you gonna wish that you had the strength to talk about the things that you go through, to be honest and be open. Because it's not the fact that you're going through, it's the fact that you actually talking about it. You open yourself more to be attacking different forms. You feel me? That's what I'm trying to put niggas on. You dig? Stop playing with it. I know they say, yo, this saying niggas is made for the streets and some niggas is made for the sidewalk. But truthfully speaking, you can't even tell the difference between the two. You just can't tell the difference. I'm on the sidewalk right now, and the difference is made by a clear paint between the two right now. You see the paint on the side. It's not even really a sidewalk, but I'm making a sidewalk out of it. You feel me? So what's the difference between the two? How do you differentiate those two? That's what I'm trying to take them to. I'm trying to take them to that mindset. Feel me? The things that we really separate, the yin and the yang. The separation. What's the separation? They're both very identical. The coloring probably is what separates it, but they look identical. Feel me? It looks identical. Feel me? Night and day, what separates it? A light? Sunlight? It's basically the same day, so what separates night and day? You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just a little tweak to it, just a little tweak of the pattern to it. You feel me? So the fact that people be thinking that they're different from me is baffling to me. I'm like, how are you different from me? There's no difference between me and you at all. It could be a small pattern change, just a little bit, a little switch of a channel. And maybe you get a Hot 97, another switch, you get a 105. But it's just the same thing. It's the same thing, just a little pattern switch. That's all. But yeah, we're the same people, just expressing ourselves in different ways. So to demonize me is to demonize yourself. So don't tell me that I'm talking too much, or don't try to shut me down because you are selfish in how you want to execute or basically draw out your little vindictive plans. You feel me? Nah, me. That's like, you feel me? Yeah, you know, I gotta. It's drizzling, my nigga. What else can I say? But I'm still gonna talk to y'all in the rain and everything else. Like, it is what it is. I gotta talk to y'all. Feel me? There's no difference between the street and the sidewalk. The only difference is that one has the operation of roads. It has its own function. You feel me? One is made for cars and the other one is made for people to walk on or whatever, to sell side on the. But they made of the same material, but they just have different functions. That's all. Just a tweak of the pattern. That's all. But it's the same thing basically. One can be the other. If the roads was filled right now and everybody had a car and there was no need for sidewalk, I seen in New York City the sidewalk would be made. It was just too many cars on the road. It was a lot of traffic. So people started walking on the road because the sidewalk was occupied. And that's when you know, oh, this shit is the same. It's like, you feel me? I know you. All right, let me move. I'm hearing things move. You see, just like that. I heard things moving in the sidewalk. Something is in there, so I started walking on the road. So what's the difference? Who keeps me in line of these things? It's the same thing. You feel me? I am the same as you. You can't separate me from you just because somebody has made me into a sidewalk and you think you the road. Ain't she nice? You feel me? Like I was saying, New York City, it's just so many people on the sidewalk that you would see, because it's a lot of tourists and they just infatuated with the tall buildings and the skyscrapers. So they tend to just be walking and just stop in the middle of the walk. And they just holding traffic up and people walking. That's funny, right? And they're looking up and we was like, oh, then we got to go around. And sometimes there's not enough sidewalk, so we walk on the road. You feel me? From there, I realized, like, what is the difference between the two? Because people always try to make the difference between the two and be like, what is saying niggas made for the streets and saying niggas is made for the sidewalk? I'm like, there's no difference between the two. Because if a person get desperate enough, they're going to walk on the streets, and that's what goes on. And people cross path back and forth. At a certain age, you got to leave the streets life alone and get on the sidewalk and live like a civilian. Feel me? You ain't about that wildlife no more. That's growth. You feel me? And sometimes when coronavirus hit and everything else, a lot of good men went back into the street to go get it. You feel me? That's desperation. You already know what time it is. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it. I'm going to do some scamming. You seen the game doing that. Niggas was cheating niggas out. They went back into the street. You feel me? So sometimes when the sidewalk is too crowded, people will walk onto the streets. You feel me? Sometimes when there's traffic and a car does not see nobody on the sidewalk, sometimes they drive onto the sidewalk. No, in my case, they try to drive into the sidewalk to hit me. But they drive onto the sidewalk. Hold on. Let me put that headphones back in there. Speaking truth right now, they can't hold you back when you speak this shit. Ain't nobody telling like I tell it, man. Because I use my own experience. And it's all true story. You can Google it. They drive back onto the sidewalk to beat the traffic and get back in line again. You feel me? There's no difference between the two. There's no difference between what I'm going through and what you're going through. So don't treat me different. Don't tell me. Let it pass. So do not treat me different and tell me that I cannot speak about the things that I'm going through because I'm talking too much and it's irritating you. Saul or Paul, whatever you choose to be. What's the difference between Saul and Paul? They're the same people. It's just that the function of the mind, the things that Saul was focusing on changed because of the circumstances. You feel me? The Bible's telling you that you can be one or the other any given day. It's according to you. If your circumstances change, you can be one or the other. So how do you treat me different? I know the devil always tries to keep you stuck and try to separate you. You feel me? God separates for the right reasons. The devil separates for the wrong reason. When you're in a God-like position, you have a decision. to, yes, we always separate things. We always make that what do you call it, difference between. We always in that function. We always in that function. That's what a God like figure do. When God separate day from night, you feel me? The devil does the same thing too. If you read the Bible, you can always see someone in a higher position always dividing or separating from what it used to be. You feel me? There's always a transition going on. Always. True story. You just gotta see. Read it for yourself, man. I ain't gotta tell you. I ain't gonna tell you a scripture. Just the whole Bible to you. You gotta see it in a different way. Go with a thought in mind and read it, and you will see it for what it is. Perception. You feel me? So don't tell me, oh, hold on. The rain is coming. So don't tell me, oh, he like, you gotta be a man. You gotta know how to handle your situation. I'm like, yo, don't do that. You feel me? Don't try to act like, you feel me, you better than me, cause you are in this position in this moment in time right now. Now you trust me, you can be on my side and you're gonna want to hear, so you're gonna want somebody to hear you walk by, you feel me? Or talk while you walk by. You feel me? Because you happen to be on the road right now and you think you're on the road to glory. You feel me? But any given time, you can be the one that's on the sidewalk too. You feel me? So you gotta be humble in the situation that you're in right now and how you present yourself to the rest of the world. You feel me? Yeah, I sit dry right now. No homo. There's a lot of water out here that I still gotta dry mine because they don't want me to talk the truth right now. You feel me? So when I tell y'all, when I always use a word that's a difference between, I'm not talking about the identification. Of course, there's a difference between the identity of each person has changed. Like Saul and Paul are the same person, but yet they are different in identification and how they identify themselves in that moment in time. That's the difference that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that line in between that separates the two. You feel me? But in actuality, it is the same person. So it can be a difference between me and you right now in identifying how we understand each other in this moment. But in actuality, we the same person. We can switch at any time. We can switch spots at any time. Feel me? There's a movie out there too. What's the name of that movie? When two best friends switch spots. They always remaking that movie in so many different ways. The new generation always remake that movie when one person take the form of the other. Sometimes it's the mother taking the form of the daughter and she got to go back to school and the daughter's this and that. Like, but we are all the same people. Feel me? We are just one. Just operating different patterns and different formats. That's all. Feel me? So when you hear me talking about my situation, you need to hear me. You need to join me in telling me, like, yeah, that nigga testimony is true. What he's saying is true. Don't try to demonize me. Hold on. Nah, that's good. Don't try to demonize me and make it seem like I'm a liar. I'm not a liar, man. Feel me? Like my job itself, we all wear different vests, but at the same time, each individual who has a different color vest on, that vest identify or explain the position that they're in. But at the end of the day, we all work for the same company, so we are one. You feel me? It's the same thing. Feel me? I can give you examples on top of examples, bro. You feel me? But let me get over this shit before the shit cuts off. You know how that shit go. They be hating.